Oh, hey, team! How are you guys doing this lovely Wednesday evening? Oh my goodness, this is if you're wondering what I do when I am just waiting for code to run, I knit or do other grandmother-ish crafts because I get bored really easily. Anywho, um, oh my goodness. So channel news stuff. One, like, hey, my channel got monetized, which is amazing. I've been working towards that for a really long time. And so thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed and watched my videos. Because that's how one gets monetized. So that's amazing. And I feel like this is something that we have like accomplished together, which is great. Um, and so that's really exciting too. I finally was able to write the script for and film the Weather 101 videos on the first law of thermodynamics. Uh, well, Robert, we just got started. And I'm super glad that you were here. Okay. What else is happening? Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. So I'm editing those thermodynamics videos, and to keep them like in the 5-ish minute range, there's gonna be like 5 of them. So I think I'll end up with like a separate. I'll make a first law playlist once they're all released. I think that's gonna be the plan. Um, and but that's been good. That was just if you've watched the first video in the first law of thermodynamics, then you know that I like spend the entire minute apologizing for not being able to explain it without calculus. Welcome to what was taking so long for me to film and get stuff out. Because I try really hard with the scripts, right, to get them to like like I don't you shouldn't have like there should not be a prerequisite for my random ramblings on the internet, right? And so but definitely like when I learned thermo, there was calculus involved. So I got it distilled down as simply as I could. I think we're there. Also, hi Zebra. I am doing pretty okay. Life's a little busy out here. We are having to repair our house from a second hailstorm. If you guys remember, we had a big hailstorm back in April and we had to get a new roof. Well, we had not just a hailstorm, but actually a full-blown tornado come through here a few weeks ago. And now we're doing our second round of house repairs. In like 4 months. So that's great. Semester is going, right? I'm doing my PhD research. I've got a conference coming up in next oh no, it's next month. Ah, okay. Oh no, it's November. The conference is now next month. Um, Shep and Chester are doing great. Chester is like finally relaxing a little bit. He's not so much incredibly anxious all the time, which is great. Um, and Master, thank you so much. I really like this hair color. I'm a big fan of the green. Um, so let's see. Oh, what else happened? Okay, so last time I did a live stream, which was 2 weeks ago, um, oh my goodness, I did it on Dr. Tenpenny, who is a big conspiracy theorist with uh the the COVID and all of that. Um and oh, by the way, the doggos are very happy because one of the things that last storm did was it completely blew down part of our fence. So they haven't been able to just go out in the backyard, but we got the fence fixed today. So they are very happy puppers. Um, they can, appropriately patrol their domains. Um, I forget what I was talking about before. Oh well. Um, okay, so tonight we're just gonna do some good old-fashioned flat earth debunking. I don't because last time, like, YouTube I technically got, like, a warning on my channel because they were like, "You're spreading misinformation," and then, like, I appealed it, um, and I got that back, but that was still, like, a little I didn't like that I had to go through that process, and I also have a sneaking suspicion that some extra eyes might be on my channel, you know? I think like once things get flagged, then they focus a little bit. So yeah, tonight we're just gonna do some good old-fashioned flat earth debunking. I found a channel with a playlist of several like short videos, and one of them I think may be confusing a weather balloon with a satellite, and so I think that's where we're going to start. So we've got a few folks watching tonight, so that is awesome. And yeah, I think let's just jump into this video. So we're going to start with satellite crashes in Brazil attached to a balloon. That sounds like a weather balloon to me, and since I have in fact launched some weather balloons on, a variety of field campaigns, well, I guess I really only did that one field campaign, it feels like a variety. That's where we're gonna start. So, without further ado, let's do this thing. Okay. Bam. Ooh, this is 80s-tastic. Nice. Satellite crashes in Brazil attached to a balloon. Oh, okay, that's not a weather balloon. So we've got some solar panels. Definitely some instruments. Oh, I don't. It's going to be in Portuguese. Let's see. I'm trying to get a good look at what those instruments might be. I don't recognize them, so that tells me it's not weather. But I wouldn't call the thing it's attached to a balloon. We only got like a quick shot of that. If this is the whole video, I'm gonna be like, okay, well that was that whole video. That's a little boring. Goodness. All right, let's go back to that playlist. I mean, I think the point that, okay, I might get bored with this. Okay, stop that. Stop playing twice. Also, Vesta, that's so exciting that you're hopefully getting a puppy. Puppies are great. I love them. Okay. Let's see. What else do we get? Why this flat earth? I don't know. Here, let's maybe do the solar eclipse. Maybe he's gonna actually like put forth an argument. That would be great. And the globe. The problem with the August 21st, 2017 solar eclipse and the globe.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of...
First of all, it's not nice to smack Neil deGrasse Tyson in the face. That just isn't very nice. I'm prepared, Mark Sargent. The Earth is making a full rotation every 24 hours. We can agree on that there, Mark. That's a thing I can agree on. That's a thing the moon does. Yeah, this is what we're taught. What's the major problem, Mark? I want to hear it. Total solar eclipse. Cool. Yeah, yeah. I actually really like that animation. That's a pretty good example. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. The information is undeniable fact. Sure. What's the problem that we have, Mark? Let me know. Okay, if what we're told about the rotation of the Earth and how the moon orbits the Earth is true. Also, hi, Dapper, glad to have you in the chat. Then wouldn't the land in North America be traveling 27 times faster than the shadow coming from the moon? Sorry, you just saw my brain do a 404 error. No? Why? Like, no, it wouldn't. That's not, that's just no. Yeah, I think no is the answer to this statement. Um, and one, they're getting that like 27 times. He must be getting that number from the moon orbits the Earth every 27 to 28 days. So I think that's where he's getting that 27 from. But why in the world would that mean? That's not the same thing as like traveling 27 times as fast. Like that's not how that works. Okay, so no. If that were the case, then how in the world is the shadow? Well, because that's not the case, so that's fun. Any good researcher, hold on, my first stop for all space information has to be NASA. They'll clear this up. Like, I feel the sarcasm, Mark, but I don't know, like, where this 27 times faster thing, like, you did not explain that, my guy. Yeah, and Dapper, you're absolutely right. Like, they really, really, really do not understand rotating reference frames, relative vorticity, things like that. Fun fact, like not understanding relative vorticity. If you guys remember back in the day when I debated Kent Hovind over on Modern Day Debate, um, that was he made this crazy claim about like the waves would be moving across the surface of the earth at the speed at which the earth is rotating. And I'm like, no, and I could not get this man to wrap his head around the concept of relative velocity. Like, sure, they're traveling whatever very large number he said because he thought that was impressive, right? But then also, like, the ground underneath them is also traveling that fast, so there's no relative velocity. So yeah, this like concept of relative velocity is apparently very difficult for not only the flirfs, but also the yeks, which is my new favorite way to refer to young Earth creationists as the yeks. Um, okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, there's our eclipse. Cool, 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 cool. Doesn't really seem to be going west to east though. Okay, so let's think through what he's like. So like why the question in my mind seems to be why does a solar eclipse move from west to east? Cool. Because that is like the opposite direction of that like the sun sets, right? That is going the opposite direction of that. So the solar eclipse, right, where that the center of that shadow is, travels like Um, no, it's traveling in the same direction that the Earth is rotating, right? Oh no, where's my? I sometimes have a globe within grabbing distance, but it's not here. I do have a ball of yarn because of my aforementioned anxiety, coping mechanisms. Anyway, and Gary, you're right. Like, apparently we're sending out space worms, so that's scary. I don't want to do that. Excellent. Um, yeah. So okay. So if this is the Earth, right? We rotate in this direction. Yeah, we rotate like this, and the eclipse is traveling like the eclipse. The center of the eclipse was moving in the same direction of the Earth's rotation. Um, so like a, a right, the Earth rotates. Right, we rotate faster than the moon is moving around us, right? Um, so that's a thing. Um, yeah, we rotate faster than the Earth is moving, than the moon is moving around us, because that takes 27 days, and this takes 24 hours. Um, so really, it should just be that the moon, basically, the location of that eclipse, like that movement, is probably just. Sorry, this is me. Like, I don't watch these videos beforehand because I like to live react, but sometimes that, like, I've got to like think through things live on air, and that always makes me a little nervous. But anyway, so my kind of like first guess is that that location of the shadow is really just following, like, it's going to mostly, where it is mostly driven by the rotation of the Earth, because like relative motion, the moon is moving relatively slowly compared to how fast the Earth rotates. Um, but he certainly thinks that the moon should be moving 27 times faster than the Earth. I do not know why he thinks that. That seems like an odd thing to think. Um, okay, yeah, let's keep playing. Let's see why he's mad. Doesn't really seem to be going west to east though. This is yeah, that's not to scale like animation. That's yeah, that's not, this isn't a thing. Yeah, what you're seeing there is the Earth rotating under the shadow. Like, that's it. And why is that moon so fast? Because this is a cartoon, my guy. Cool. All right. We're gonna get out of this video. That was, oh, okay, wait, no, we've got a few minutes. Let's maybe skip ahead. All right, here we go. Here we go. Thanks, Mark. Eclipse going from west to east as it should. Great. And yeah, absolutely, the moon is not on a geostationary orbit. Okay, wait. As it should. See, it works perfectly on a rotating. I don't know what he's trying to communicate. I mean, like, my guy, they're not trying to show. Okay, yeah, that's the tangential velocity of the moon is higher than that of the Earth when the Earth has a lower rotational period than the moon's orbital peak. Yeah, Mark, you can't do the math on that. Um, yeah, I don't actually know what this guy's saying. Like, and I mean, like, he is right that in this specific, like, the way they're showing the pan, like, that's not the direction in which the Earth rotates, right? but they're, like, changing your frame of reference to see the shadow move. So, um, anyway, that's fun. That's very I don't know. I do not know what to do with that video. And that's like one of my issues with sometimes with flat earthers is that like they don't really make claims. Um and oh, there was a great one in here. Here we go. Flat Earth curvature test, 7.53 miles shore to shore with freezing temperatures mirror. So, if this is what I'm thinking of, right? A random fact that I carry around in my head is that back in the day of like the late 1700s, early 1800s, in the days of like wooden sailing ships, not that I have obsessively read lots and lots of listen, I've read the entire Master Commander series by Patrick O'Brien. I started when I was like 13. That got me through college. It was a thing. I don't think he understands any of it. Like, and the problem is that like in that video, he's not making any claims. He's not doing any math. There's nothing like I don't even understand what his question is. It's just pointing at stuff and saying like, "This is dumb, right, guys? Oh my gosh, isn't this so dumb?" Like, well, isn't what so dumb? Like, please be specific about what it is you're concerned about because like I really don't know. Um, I am obsessed with the Age of Sail. Thank you. Um, so I happen to know that ships that were set to a blockade, right? They, if you're trying to like have your ships be a blockade to prevent anybody from getting in, that they would be 13 to 14 miles apart. That's what they would be spaced apart because if you're out on the open ocean, right, and then they would sort of like sail the plus or minus, like sail 7 miles this way and then back to center. So they would sail like in 14-mile little stretches as part of the patrol. And they would do this because if you were out at sea, right, where there's flat, there's nothing in your way to like prevent you from seeing anything, you can see for about 7 or 8 miles. That's just how far you can see. So I'm kind of intrigued by the title of this video. Oh, that's the wrong StreamYard button. That's the button I want. Okay. That this is he was making a big deal about 7 miles. I haven't watched Black Sails. Like, do I need to? Um, my one of my so my I love the Mastering Patrick O'Brien's. Anything written by Patrick O'Brien, I am obsessed with. Two, Naomi Novak basically took the whole Master and Commander series and was like, "This is excellent, but what if there were also dragons?" And I didn't know I needed that in my life, but I should have because naturally, um, everything is better if you just add dragons. So, Zachariah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, so let's take a look at this. If this is just more like pointing and laughing, we'll have to find another more different videos to watch. Flat Earth confirmed 7.53 miles. Okay, I do not know what to do with this. And Gary, okay, I'll have to check that out. I'm gonna write myself a little note. Watch Black Sails. It's on my to-do list now. Okay. A 7.53-mile test was conducted on December 9th, 2017 at the same location as my previous Utah Lake test, but at opposite locations. So I don't know what he means. I think he's saying, I think the test he's running from context clues is, can we see for 7.5 miles? Um, maybe? Okay. Okay. Note that the level of elevation remains the same. But this is what's a little frustrating to me. Let's just I think you can see for 7 miles. Like, why is that a problem? Um, at constant elevation with nothing in the way. Okay,
All right, here's my setup.
cool. You got a camera. Love
As you
it.
can see, not far off of the water. It's actually frozen there. Maybe it's about 32 degrees, maybe 31 degrees outside right now.
Great.
My wife will have a spotlight that direction at Eagle Park. Put this, you can see it's standing on the ice right there. There's really no extra inches to be involved here.
Well, Mr. Lizard, I am glad you saw the name of the stream and clicked and joined us. I am super happy you are here. I don't have a co-host tonight, so I don't even have anybody to distract me from the terrible, terrible pseudoscience. But oh well. Okay, cool.
Right.
We've got a lovely setup.
About 30 and a half inches.
30 and a half inches up off the ground. Earth should be hidden behind 21 feet of curvature. Yeah, like also sounds like conditions for refraction. Okay. Let's do our own math. Earth curve calculator, because there's a reason 7 miles is sticking in my head. So I am gonna do a thing where I share a different screen. Share screen, Chrome tab, this guy, on it. Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right over that. Does sound like conditions for refraction. But let's just see, like, how far can you see on open ocean? Because it's really far. Sea level to curvature limits the range of vision to 2.9 miles. Okay. Yeah, Zachary, right? Like Flirts use that 8 inches per square mile, but like that's an approximation. That's not actually like a derivative, which is what you would need. Um, okay. Um, I'm wondering where I have this. Like I've carried that number of 7 miles around in my head for a very long time. Um, Science, how steps work. Um, let's see. One of the funniest things about the ocean is the fact that its surface is curved. Cool, 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 cool. Um, okay, so that's saying about 3 miles. I wonder if I'm thinking of like if you have a height above, like if you're in the crow's nest. I don't want to sign up. They use a horizon distance, not a target hidden distance. So yeah, let's just grab an Earth curvature calculator. Earth curvature calculator. Okay. uh, sure. Here we go. Okay. The Earth curvature. Oh, okay. Distance to the object was um was 7.53 miles. Eyesight level was, what did he tell us? Okay, Gary, you're gonna make me cry. One, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know if you know this, but this is my very first super chat ever of all time. So like if I could give you like a sticker or a gold star, I absolutely would. So that's super kind, and I will have to go check out Black Sails over on Stars. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. And The Expanse is absolutely amazing. You are correct, sir. Yay. Okay. Going back to this calculator. They were, but it means sea level. Okay, so what was their elevation in this? Okay, here we go. We'll assume this number is right. Um, they burned out a laser? Oh my gosh. Okay, so 4,490 feet. So we'll just use that. So eyesight level is 4,490 feet. Um, distance between the observer and the horizon. Um, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. There's like so many ads popping up. I just want to know distance between the observer and the horizon, height from the ground to the lowest point. Okay, I'm gonna go to a different calculator. Um, is this actually a GitHub thing? Okay. So eye height, 4,430 feet. 4,490. All right. E naught is target distance. How much a distant object is obscured? Okay, so then this is Vesta. I am so jealous. That sounds absolutely amazing. Um, the only like masted vessel I've ever been on is the USS Constitution, and that was, while it's tied up at the dock, but I still like every time a family member came to visit me when I lived in Boston, I was like, "Let's go see the USS Constitution," and they're like, "Again, Maddie?" It's like, "Yes." I would have gone every weekend if that wouldn't have been incredibly insane. Okay. If I'm understanding this correctly, then at that height, the target distance of 7 miles, the target hidden height is 0. I don't oh, look at that. We can see it. I don't Oh, look at that. Yeah, just did the calculation. In order to see 7.5 miles without refraction, you just need to be 37 feet high. Like, this isn't yeah, this is so what in the world? Thank you for doing that calculation, Zachariah, by the way. That was great. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to sharing the video, and then I wanna go back to see eye height isn't okay. No, not that button. I'm clicking the wrong buttons, team. I'm very sorry. Okay, let's go back to Chrome tab, share this guy. Okay, so let's go back to where he actually calculates, puts things into his calculator. Okay, so there we go. So eye height. Oh, okay. He put the eye height at 2.54 feet. Yeah, they're claiming an eye height of a few feet, but shouldn't that eye height should be okay, Robert, that's only about 3 feet. Um, yeah, they're claiming an eye height of a few feet, but that's I'm trying to think of elevation, um, about how that elevation would affect it because we were using the same calculator. Oh, what's up, David? Oh, okay, they're right about the eye height. Then I was confused as to, like, what we were putting into this calculator. Okay. So, yeah, then in this case, it's gonna be refraction. If you were standing a little higher, it'd be really easy to see this anyway. Okay, so let's let them, not understand refraction next. That sounds happy. Um,
Okay, ground itself about 28 degrees.
Love we're doing some temperature stuff. That's a great.
27 degrees. Let's go over the water. You can
Why
see
are we doing this?
24
Okay.
degrees. There's the access point. As you can see, there's a smokestack over there that's attached to a ground moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
Oh, team. Okay, let's deal with this sarcasm. So he is upset by the concept that smoke can just rise straight up when the ground is supposedly moving at 1,000 miles an hour under it. So that's very fun. That's very fun. So I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but the atmosphere, turns out, team, moves with the Earth, right? The atmosphere, the Earth isn't just like sliding around under the atmosphere moves with the Earth. And so you can get a feature in the atmosphere that is big enough that it's affected, that you can like notice the Earth rotating under it, but you have to be about hurricane sized. You have to be about 1,000 kilometers across, order of magnitude, in order for like the rotation of the Earth to start to matter. And like there are systems where you will see smoke move away, right? It just happens pretty slowly. So like obviously, if you're just looking at like that local rising motion, the atmosphere is moving with the Earth. So it's zero relative motion in the horizontal. There's just this relative motion of the smoke rising. So that's a fun one. That's a fun one. But yeah, so now that we got through that snark, let's listen to him not understand refraction. So that's going to be fun.
Attached to a ground moving at 1,000 miles per hour. Filming that way towards Eagle Park in Saratoga Springs.
Cool,
Utah.
cool.
All right, so I'm south of the Linden Marina access point. Oh, access point is over there.
We're at the same
Filming
spot.
towards
I'm gonna let
Eagle Park in Saratoga Springs. Just want to show you. I just thought this was fascinating, is how you can see the reflections on the water from this distance.
Yeah, man.
That's probably about 7.5 miles at least away, maybe even more. But you can definitely see the reflection on the water when you would, even a centimeter of curvature would stop that from happening.
It would not, turns out.
I believe that, right?
What? Okay, hold on. Let's think this through. Let's try to, and this is where I get frustrated with these videos, team, because I spend enough time, I try to understand what they think is happening. So, one, yeah, light doesn't bend. Also, you like forget refraction for a second. If I'm over here and I'm on a curved surface, Metabank curve calculator includes refraction. Okay, I'll pull that up. But like, I'm also thinking just of like not only of refraction, but also like just straight up reflection. Like he's upset like that if I have a light from over here and it's hitting water and like reflecting up, like what does he think is happening with curvature? Like that does it cause all light to just get sucked into it like a black hole? Like, is that what he thinks is supposed to happen with curvature? I legitimately do not know. Because I don't. Okay, let's let him talk. I'm gonna pull up another.
Right there is defining
another
the
a Metabunk
model
calculator. Okay.
just under the trees right now.
Okay.
The small hill.
You
by
under the trees? Are you spinning around your
Cool.
light at all?
What is happening? Okay. I'm like getting bored with this video because he's not saying anything. That's very frustrating. You have to like say things. You can't just like show a picture and wave vaguely and assume that that is proof. That's not how things work. Okay, so we're gonna stop that. Let's pull back up a new calculator. Okay. Where I can, all right, so my viewer height in feet. So the distance in miles is, it was 7.5. The viewer height, if that's supposed to be like eye line, then we'll do that. We'll do that. View height 3 feet, actual radius, cool. With the refraction drop is 32 feet. Refraction, okay. Okay. Sorry. Not accurate for observations over water or very close to the horizon. So that's fun. For the, where's the advanced checkbox? So let's see if we can do this. Yeah, we're gonna adjust refraction. No, okay, you're assuming the dry adiabatic lapse rate. Okay. Where is the advanced checkbox? Horizon, distance to. Okay. Bam. Distance to point. Standard atmospheric conditions. Sorry. Oh, it's next to imperial metric. Thank you, team. Okay. Temperature in Fahrenheit, it was 29 degrees Fahrenheit. And guys, thank you for pointing out where the advanced button was, because we found that together. Awesome. Okay, so pressure. Oh, if we're at 4,000 feet, what is pressure? What's like, because pressure drops with height, right? So what's an average surface? You can't see this, but I'm Googling it. Pressure at 4,000 feet. Altitude, absolute atmospheric pressure. I'm trying to think of the, there's like a rule of thumb that we use, and I can't for the life of me remember it off the top of my head. Which is like, but it's also like in the wrong units. Okay. Pressure. So sorry, I'm looking at a pressure versus elevation curve. Let me stop. Let me do a thing. Okay, I'm actually going to, if I share a window, then there we go. Then that'll be better. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. Elevation of sea level in meters. Oh gosh. 1.5 kilopascal per 100 meters. So right, that's not quite, because it's an exponential relationship. So you've got to, we kind of think of it in like half-lives. Obviously not actual half-lives, but like every however many meters it drops by half. And I literally can't think of that number right now because this is my brain, and my brain never performs well on the spot. So let's go ahead and do 4,000 feet to meters. Okay, so about 1,000. So okay, like 1.2 kilometers. 1.2 kilometers or 1,000. Let's call it here. average atmospheric pressure in kilopascals. So this is going to be, all right, so pressure, we'll call it 900 millibars. That's going to be about right. So 90 kilopascals would be 900 hectopascals, which is about 900 millibars. So let's go ahead and do that. Pressure in atmospheres. Ooh. Okay, so let's do 900 hectopascal to atmospheres. No, hectopascal, team. So 0.88. So we'll call it 0.88. So 0.88. And I'm cool with this, the vertical temperature gradient following the dry adiabatic lapse rate. Like that is not going to bother me. Okay, so cool. So we did all of that thing. So my refracted horizon. Cool. Did we okay, so I put everything up. And okay. Distance to the horizon. Okay, I want to take a look. Boom, boom. Okay. So geometric results, no refractions. Okay, wait. So with the refraction approximation, giving an effective radius of that, the refracted horizon is 2.3 miles. Refracted drop is hidden. I feel like the numbers didn't update even when I added in new things, so I'm a little upset. And I'm not quite sure what to do with this, and I'm starting to get bored with it. So okay. Let's you know what? Let's just go to this guy's channel. Let's find something more interesting to watch. Shall we? Because honestly, like that's one of the problems with like sometimes you get conspiracy theorists that are so far out there that like it's actually boring. Flat Earth. Let's go to rants and articles. A rant sounds like so much fun. Oh no. Oh no, I need to watch this. We need to watch The Mark so bad. Because I think this is going to be the mark of the beast and this video is going to get flagged, but I need to watch this with you guys. I need to. All right, I've got to change how I'm sharing so that you can hear the audio and suffer along with me. But let's do it. Let's do it. Oh no. Okay, let's do it.
The put up or
Why am I
shut up
like
moment of
nervous?
2021. It's December of 2020, and I wish I had more time, but I don't. So here we are, and I'm writing this several months ahead of schedule. Back in July, I made a rant called When a Plan Comes Together. In it, I talked about what the virus would take away from us, the details of the vaccination program.
Also, team, I'm fully vaxxed. You should be too, because that's what all the cool kids do. The vaccinations are great. I just got my flu shot. And then I'm trying to schedule my booster, but the like Oklahoma, like my county's health department isn't like I can't the health department hasn't put out guidelines for boosters for folks that got Moderna, which is what I received. Only Pfizer. So like currently I can't get a booster around here. But I will as soon as humanly possible, and you should too, because vaccines are great. Listen, do you hear that YouTube algorithm? Vaccines are amazing, and that's what we're talking about, and we're debunking pseudoscience, not spreading pseudoscience. Okay, thanks for listening.
And what to expect in the months to come. I was hoping that nothing would be released until the first quarter of 2021, but as the saying goes, man makes plans, God laughs.
What is the point
And
of this
that is
being a
where this
video?
rant
Like,
will
show
begin
me
and
something
end
visually
with
interesting.
God.
Jeez.
I've
Cool.
danced around this religious issue for over 5 years, and now it's time for me to lay it on the line. I was raised in a strong rural Christian community on an island in the very northwest corner of the United States.
Good for you.
For me
Cool.
and the
Cool,
people
cool, cool,
around
cool, cool,
me,
cool.
church wasn't just a Sunday
Yep.
thing. I attended regular service, Sunday school, youth
I did
groups,
the same
vacation
thing, my
Bible
guy.
camps during the summer, even Camp Malibu in an isolated part of British
I
Columbia.
don't know what that is, but I went to church
Younger
camp.
generations
Okay.
find the King James Bible somewhat dry.
I find it
The
inaccurate.
Ten Commandments are simple enough, but what really interested me were the last chapters, otherwise known as the Book of Revelation. It was the potential future.
No, it
a
was
spider
not.
web of
It's
prophecies
really not.
and a look
Team,
into the
oh,
final
no.
act.
That's not what the Book of Revelation is. It's just a book in the Bible. It's not. It's never. Oh my gosh. I've actually heard sermons where people are like, it's talking about tanks and helicopters. It definitely is not, right? Like, apocalyptic literature is a genre that doesn't exist anymore, but did at the time. It is not trying to tell you what is happening now. It really isn't. Just calm down.
The final struggle.
Okay.
And eventual conclusion of good versus evil.
Good versus evil.
That is what I thought anyway.
You think it's about
anyone that knows my work
pandemics?
knows that I rarely delve into chapter and verse, mostly because I don't want to draw the ire of the unwashed heathen masses.
First of all, the
You know who
unwashed
you are.
heathen masses are lovely humans. They make really good cake. I like hanging out with them, right? Like, it's very fun. Two, like, one, I actually like. I have several actual heathen friends, so like, let's use that. We can use that term appropriately. Anyway, that's a whole other rant. Cool. Also, my guy, like, you hold a view that is of a minority within your own faith. So once again, like, this is my least favorite black and white argument that that rhetoric gets used by the Yeckers, right? The young earth creationists, of it's either this or atheism, right? It's either that you believe the earth is flat, or you're a like dirty sinner or something like that, right? That's just not real. So like, we don't need to use that rhetoric, my guy.
In this video, I will read parts
Why? I
of
really
two
don't want you
chapters
to
after
do that.
decade.
Okay.
I have heard religious men.
Let's skip ahead. Bam. The assumption of the rapture will save lots of Christians if anything really bad happens. The rapture is not real. Cool. What else we got? Sorry, I can read this faster than you do, my guy. We don't need your quick nickel tour. Also, in this sentence, Bible should be capitalized. Cool. Right. We've all seen Left Behind, starring Kirk Cameron, teen heartthrob turned extremist. Keep going. This is the Christians don't have to worry about the rapture because God, that wouldn't happen to them. Christians don't have to worry about the end time because they'll be raptured before everything gets really terrible. That's the okay. Cool. I love this that he's like, I don't think there's ever been a pastor to ever suggest the alternative that the rapture was actually scheduled later in the timeline if it existed at all. So like um Uh, Deborah, is that the one where he steals the Declaration of Independence? That was a really bad joke. I'm sorry. I actually have not seen that one. I just have seen the one with Kirk Cameron, teen heartthrob turned extremist. Okay. I love that he's like, I don't think there's ever been a pastor to suggest that the rapture was scheduled later in the timeline. Like, not that the rapture maybe isn't a real thing, or that like this whole apocalyptic end time things is like helps no one, does nothing positive, isn't real. That's what we're worried about. So cool. He definitely is like, we are entering the tribulations, we are entering the end times, the world is gonna end, and that's not what's happening. You know what will help fewer people die? If you get vaccinated. Vaccines, again, are great. I do, Deborah, I do know the Left Behind. I know it's an adaptation of the same book. I just like, is the Nick Cage one newer? Like, was that one made after the Kirk Cameron one? Is the Nick Cage one the revamp? Um, ah, I mean this in the most affectionate way, Dapper. Thank you, linguist nerd. Um, I am not a linguist nerd. I don't know much of the languages. I clearly barely speak English. Mark of the Beast, otherwise known as the dreaded 666. Yeah, it's a superstition, my guy. It's a superstition. Like it has as much weight as being afraid of a black cat or walking under a ladder, right? Um, I have in fact read the original text from Revelations, or not. I guess not the original. I've read it in the Bible. Um, so cool. All right, so we're going into the Bible, and we're not going to worry about it because I don't know what that has to do. There we go. Listen, man, it makes for a great young adult dystopian adventure. But that doesn't mean it's real. Sometime in the future, there will be a system, an identifying mark that everyone will be required to get, and without it, you will be economically crippled. Up until now, this seemed like a near logistical impossibility. Hold that thought. Hold that thought, my guy. Let's do a thing. Let's do a thing. Yep. This button, and then we're gonna go to this. You mean maybe like that scar? Like that mark? That's a smallpox vaccine mark? I'm just saying it's like smallpox vaccine scar and why it happens. Why it happens is so that we have a way to look at people and know whether or not they're vaccinated against smallpox. I don't have that scar. Sorry, those images are getting a little gnarly, so we're gonna take them off screen. I don't have that scar because it worked and smallpox has been effectively eradicated. Okay. Bam. No one would voluntarily submit to such a system. Oh my goodness. Unless it was disguised as a public health crisis. That's not real, my guy. Biblical scholars have always said that we wouldn't see a beast system put in place during our lifetime. That sentence is insane. Can we break that sentence down together for a moment? So biblical scholars, that is someone whose job it is to understand an ancient text, have always said, right? Always and never are scary words. Like those are going to precede lies. Um uh because that's an absolute statement, so it doesn't exist. So it's people who have studied scripture have always said that we probably, so that's you're going in with a strong and then you're backing off. This is a poorly constructed sentence and I'm not a fan. we wouldn't see a B system put in place during our lifetime. So, but what you're like, what in the world would someone like? So this would be like Shakespearean scholars have always said that we wouldn't have robot overlords in our lifetime, right? Like what do those two things have in common? Why would a biblical scholar know anything about like a political structure that would like do you know, does that make sense? Right? This is just a nonsense sentence. And I'm not going to let it like pass by my screen without me pointing that out. And then a vaccine verification program unrelated to anything he's previously said, because like no one is saying that you can't buy groceries if you don't have a vaccine, right? All we're saying, literally the only thing you would like oh no, you might have a vaccine to visit a country, right? Like you already have to visit literally like other countries. You have to be up to date on certain vaccines to go there, right? That's just because they don't want, you know, your diseased butt showing up on their shores, right? Spreading disease into their house where they live. Um, and the US like doesn't want you bringing any nonsense back with you. I mean, for crying out loud, this is the same reason why like if you move to Japan and you bring your dog with you, your dog has to be in quarantine for like 6 months to make sure it doesn't bring diseases to the other dogs. Like public health measures are not impinging upon your freedom. It's just not a thing that's happening, right? Like public health measures are public health measures, my guy. Like they're to keep everybody safe. Can you who goodness, I'm getting mad. This okay. What else you got, my guy? So this is like having to get a vaccine in order to like do things is analogous to the apocalypse. That's what we're talking about. All healthcare has already stated they will require it to enter all healthcare has already stated they will require it to enter buildings. That's another nonsense sentence, my guys. So of schools and international travel companies. So, okay, let's start with that second half. Of course, schools have vaccine requirements. Do you know what little disease factories children are? Like, children are great. They're our future. All that jazz, right? They're also nasty. They're nasty little humans without fully functional frontal lobes that don't always wash their hands and sometimes lick weird things. So of course they have to be vaccinated to do stuff. My goodness. Especially if we're going to pack them all together in a small enclosed space and make them interact with each other all day. Right? That's just begging for disease to spread. This is thankfully the only time I lived in anything that even remotely resembled a barracks was at officer training. And that was not a barracks. That was a dorm room. You know, like that was the most enclosed space and good, but like barracks cough is a thing, right? When you make a bunch of people live in really tight quarters, disease spreads. It's just what happens. So we have to do what you can to prevent it. I also love this. All health care has already stated like care is a verb. Like so and it Dabber, if you're referring to my brain trying to like figure out this sentence, then yes, we're rendering here. I do not know what's happening. So like all healthcare systems have already stated that they'll require it to enter buildings. Okay, like what buildings? Second of all, certainly not every healthcare system in the entire world or every like doctor or physician. So I don't know like who the subject of this sentence is supposed to be. Will require it to enter buildings, like buildings they have authority over. I don't. Oh yay! I'm glad your thing is rendering. That's awesome. Oh, Dapper. Today I had fun. So team, if you didn't know this, one Dapper and I play Dungeons and Dragons. I DM the game over on Cheshire Vic's channel. Normally it's every other Monday. We played 2 days ago. We'll play again in 2 weeks. It's going to be great. But separate from that, I am in the process of writing some D&D, short D&D modules, and the first one is, my goal is to release it later this year. And Dapper made some maps for me. Chesh is doing some art for it. So that's it's mostly written. I'm play testing it with my IRL group I play with. And then once I get like the art and a final editing run through, I'm going to release it. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it. And I'm very excited that like my nerdy internet science friends who also play D&D with me, who are also so much more artistically talented than I am, specifically with like visual arts. I can't. It's not how my brain functions, and that's okay. But because I have really lovely friends who are very good at that. So I'm excited. I'll let you guys know when I like fingers crossed get this thing up on DM's Guild. By the way, the module is a parody of Church Camp. So apparently, um, I needed to process some trauma, and writing a D&D module is how I chose to do that instead of like going to therapy, I guess. Okay. Wow, I would so much rather talk about D&D than whatever this like fridge poetry of words is that's on the screen right now. That's a fun secret, Dapper. I do like math a whole lot, but I can't. I'm not sure Dapper. See, Dapper is a very kind. I was about to say human being, but no, Dapper is a very kind dinosaur, and has not quite realized how my brain does not process visual things at all. It's just not how I think, right? So you're like, oh yes, I'll do this, and then the picture will do this, and I'm like, that looks like black magic to me. Not sure about 5th edition. I kind of like 5th edition. I'm also, but like in the group I normally play with, we play Pathfinder. So Pathfinder is actually great. Like if you're more crunchy, then like Pathfinder is excellent. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition is so accessible. That's what I like about it. And there's so many resources. So there's gives or takes. I've got, I think there's pros and cons to lots of systems. I kind of like, yeah, like I like 5th edition because like the role playing seems a little easier to me with 5th edition. It seems kind of like open to that a little bit more. But like Pathfinder, oh my goodness, it's just math. It's math turned into storytelling, and that makes my math brain really happy. It is a little crunchier, but I kind of like the crunch sometimes, Um, uh, yeah, it turns out, my guy, like any public that will quickly be followed by public event centers, big box stores, and then finally restaurants, retail, and grocery stores. My guy, I hate to break it to you, but like any private business has the right to refuse service for literally any reason. Yeah. The masks were just to see how quickly the IDs. No, absolutely, that's not what masks are for. The masks were there to slow down the spread while we were developing a vaccine. That's what that was for. No other purpose. Really, no other purpose. Okay. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna read some more Bible verses. So I don't want to do that. Something Babylon. Wow, this is all right. Let's keep going. Like that, I couldn't listen to him read this because it went too slow. And if all your visuals is just going to be yellow text on a black screen, I'm just going to read it, my guy. If you take the mark, the ID tag, the number, whatever you want to call it, then you just made God's list of the damned and will be shown no mercy at all. So let's chat about that for a minute. Yeah, so one, like part of like Christian doctrine, right, is that like God is omnibenevolent, right? All loving and also like all just, right? So like a hard and fast rule. Oh, if you did this, then no mercy at all. So even in the world where like there is an evil scheme, which there certainly isn't one, but even in that world, right? Like, do you really believe that like oh, that apparently was the line that God drew in the sand? That's the line, like not murder, not abusing children, not like any other worse thing than like, oh, I guess I'm gonna be like a good member of society, do. Like that's God's line in the sand. That seems very silly to me. Um there is a god named Nurgle in Warhammer. That's brilliant. Um Vesta, I wish my brain functioned like that, but like uh oh my goodness, I can't visualize. That's just not how things work for me. Um, ooh, John, that's a very important point. Yeah, like, so why is it like a vaccine? Like, I need this vaccine to travel, like a thing that already exists. Why is that? Nurgle is the god of disease and decay, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, Nurgle, because that's my new favorite word. Um, Okay, yeah, this is really silly. This is um wow. If you get vaccinated, you don't have to worry about attending church anymore. What would be the point? So like all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. This is definitely wow. Wow, this is some really bad theology. So not only is this guy like bad at science, he's also bad at theology and he's bad at math. So that's very fun. That's fun for all of us. I mean, I have to say it's like um I don't know. All right, I'm done. I think I'm done with this guy. I'm seriously done with this. I'm getting a little bored to be honest. I was hoping that like he would have some actual what okay, so this is a thing that I've learned about flat earthers because I haven't done a flat earth debunking video. I just had that like debate with Nathan what's his name over on Modern Day Debate back in like a while, like earlier this year. And in a debate, he at least put forward like claims that we could then talk about. Like one, so like these flat Earth videos, they're not putting forth claims, right? They're just like they're really just pointing at something and being incredulous, you know. So that's like, I mean, we can talk about refraction, we can talk about like curvature of the Earth and how you know what affects how far you can see and all that jazz. Um, but like they certainly seem underinterested in engaging with that. They really just seem like they're not putting forth positive claims. They're just saying that like nuh-uh because dumb. And so that's like that's there's nothing to even debunk there. It's just because it just devolves into me going yeah, right? It's like that scene from Emperor's New Groove where the kids are nah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah, and they do that like they're every time we cut back to them in the movie, they keep doing that, and it's a delightful. Yeah, I'm cool with calling this guy a blurgle flurf. Burgle flurf. That's kind of fun to say. And then we got into some bad theology, which like, you know, to be honest, like I get a little more, so like when Matt Powell or Kent Hovind or any of the other young Earth creationists, like preacher dudes, um, uh, here's the thing being a preacher is their job. So I, like, not a preacher, should not know the Bible better than them, right? I should not be able to point out um flaws in their understanding of scripture, right? But like the smart guy, I haven't I don't think he claims to be like a preacher or anything like that. And so like it's not quite the same thing, right? Like if when Matt Powell makes a claim that's like that can't actually be supported by scripture, what in the world are you talking about? Then like I don't mind nailing him on that because you know, I am certainly not an expert in like I do not have any advanced training in like biblical studies or anything like that. I can't read Greek or Hebrew. So consequently, I should not know more about the Bible than a preacher, right? But like a layperson, sure, that's just kind of what this guy is. So this just is just sort of uh uh yeah, honestly, like I'm honestly disappointed. Like no wonder so many flat earthers just devolve into like they just get really incredulous and angry and start to like go on the offensive with like emotions. Uh because um because they don't have an argument, at least like think of like when I debated Kent Hovind, right? Or anytime we debunk like a Matt Powell or any other crazy young earth creationist video. um they're putting forth claims and they're really trying to sound scientific, right? They're trying to give their arguments weight. They're not doing a very good job, but at least that's what they're trying to do. That's like the thought of others don't even seem to be trying that. They just seem to be like, this is dumb, which I mean, honestly, that isn't super fun for me to like engage with. So anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here. Dapper, absolutely. We gotta watch some Star Trek again soon. If you guys didn't know, surprise, Dapper and I, internet science nerds, are also big Star Trek nerds. And I haven't watched any of Star Trek Prodigy yet. I'm really looking forward to it. You're not wrong. Okay, team. So tomorrow you will see a short tomorrow on another scientist you should have heard of. Tomorrow's video is going to be on Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper, she was very cool. She's got a little special place in my heart because she was an admiral in the United States Navy. And for you guys that didn't know, I was in the Navy. And so, we like to see smart ladies in the Navy. That's a group of people that I like a whole lot. So releasing the short tomorrow on Grace Hopper. And then part 2 of the thermodynamics video is edited, it is uploaded, and I transcribed that today. So I think I'll release that probably Saturday. With the first law videos, I'm going to release those a little more frequently, every few days. And Gary, you're welcome for the live stream. I'm so glad you guys hung out. This is a fun thing for me to do on a Wednesday night. I like hanging out with all of you and finding some real bonkers pseudoscience on the internet to engage with. So with that, I hope you guys have a great night. I will see you all, I guess, next week. But maybe you'll see my face before that if you catch. I'll be releasing a couple videos between now and my next live stream. So you guys are amazing, and I will see you next Wednesday. Okay, bye, team. This is the awkward part.